Breaking news, police in Connecticut issued an Amber Alert for a little girl taken from the Bridgeport area, and police say her father is the main suspect.
Also breaking on the Long Island Expressway in Syosset, where we just got an update now on a crash that's impacted traffic there all morning long.
And firefighters make a deadly discovery while fighting an early morning fire in the Bronx. Today in New York starts now. Good morning, everybody. Friday morning, February 24th. I'm Darlene Rodriguez.
I'm Michael Gargiulo, and we do want to start with that breaking news we've been following in Connecticut. We have an Amber Alert to tell you about. Police are looking for a gray Hyundai Elantra. Police say Oscar Hernandez behind the wheel, and they say he has his 6-year-old daughter, Aylin Sophia Hernandez, with him. Police responded to 69 Greenwood Street. They found multiple stabbing victims there. There's no word as to what role, if any, Hernandez had in that. Again, though, that Amber Alert is in the Bridgeport, Connecticut area. If you know anything or see anything, you're asked to call police immediately.
I want to get to Storm Team 4's Chris Amino right now, who's here with the forecast, the Friday forecast. Chris.
And good morning, guys. Another morning that feels more like spring out there. Temperatures in and around the 5 boroughs in the mid and upper 50s. It's 54 in Dyker Heights, 58 in Chelsea, City Islands 52, Hoboken, you're at 57 in the Park. We've been holding at 59 degrees. Even up in places like Newburgh, 52, Poughkeepsie, 46, way above normal for this time of the morning, this time of the year, and mid 50s down along the Jersey Shore. So I think inland spots today could get to 70 or better, while coastal areas stay a little cooler. Storm Tracker 4. Our high-powered S-band radar again scanning the sky for any precipitation. Not finding any showers nearby. There's some way to the north heading up again into northern Connecticut. That's about it. So some patchy fog and clouds around this morning. Partly sunny this afternoon and a high temperature in the upper 60s. That's in the city, but we could see some 70s and some inland spots. Lauren's been seeing some trouble spots out there early on a Friday morning commute. What's the latest?
Yes, I have a good update for people in New Jersey that travel on Route 17 southbound. All lanes were scheduled to be closed until 6 a.m. from Midland Avenue to Century Road. One lane has reopened, and the next two are scheduled to reopen within the next 20 minutes or so. So delays are starting to ease out. That's some good news, but the big problem still out there, the Long Island Expressway eastbound. This accident that took place overnight, Catherine Craig will have more on it in a moment, but the LIE remains shut down. The eastbound lanes between exits 44 and 45. You'll be diverted onto the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway, where you can head over to Old Country Road, take the service road, and get back on the LIE. We will have more weather and traffic coming up on the 4s.
Okay, Lauren, but we do want to get right now to that breaking news that Lauren has been talking about on the LIE. Catherine Craig is in Syosset right now. Details on that deadly crash and what the traffic situation is now, Kat.
And yes, and from what you can see, Michael, drivers are moving along where we are. We're over by exit 43 in Syosset. You can see they're moving right there eastbound on the Long Island Expressway, but a little further east, that is where they will see police officers. And you can see them here. They're right by exit 44S. Police officers are set up there diverting drivers, and drivers are being forced to take that exit for the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. The LIE is shut down right now in the eastbound lanes east of exit 44S. The crash happened a little before midnight in the hamlet of Westbury. At least 2 vehicles were involved, and one of them hit a guardrail, and tragically someone in that vehicle was killed. They were thrown from the vehicle and they lost their life. We're waiting to find out if there was anyone else in the vehicle or in the other car who was the victim who was tragically killed, but a major shutdown of the LIE is underway. Michael, eastbound LIE east of exit 44S, again in the hamlet of Westbury, where we're live, where at least police officers are letting us set up our news vans here. We're in Syosset. Back to you, Michael.
All right, Kat, thank you very much.
And we have breaking news in the Bronx. A 78-year-old woman has died from a fire that started in her apartment. Cell phone video shows a raging fire that started just before midnight on Andrews Avenue in Morris Heights. Police say the woman was found unresponsive in her third-floor apartment in the bedroom. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. No word on what started the fire.
5:34 right now. Time for weather and traffic on the 4. So, Chris, what a turn of events here. 59 degrees at about a little after 5:30 at the end of February.
At the end of February. It's just incredible stuff, actually. That would be a beautiful high temperature. And so far, it's just been a low this morning in Central Park. It's been a little bit cooler out across Long Island, and it was yesterday, and it will again today. Keep in mind, water temperatures are low 40s, and a little wind off the water is keeping your numbers down a little bit. But Hampton Bays is 49. It's 46 Orient, 45 Amagansett, 45 in Montauk. That's still above normal. Mattatuck's at 52 as well. But 59, that's the number that jumps out at you. That's in Central Park right now. Pretty warm in Long Branch, too, where it's 56. You go inland, we're looking at low low to mid-40s. This is not terribly cold either. And those inland spots could get into the 70s today. Patchy fog this morning seems to be showing up more in the inland areas. 3/4 of a mile visibility in Monticello, down to a mile in Poughkeepsie now, and down to a mile and a half in Morristown. So watch out. There could be some patchy fog before sunrise. Then a mix of clouds and sun today. A little lunch outdoors indeed. Temperatures into the mid and upper 60s. Cooler coast, warmer inland. Changes over the weekend. We'll get to that in a little bit. Latest change on the commute. Here's Lauren.
Thanks, Chris. Let's talk about mass transit. If you are getting on the buses, there are a couple of detours in the city, the M10, the M15, the M15 Select, and the S52 this morning. Then heading over to the rails, everything looks good. Major commuter lines operating on or close to schedule. Some uptown Q trains could terminate at 57th Street, 7th Avenue, but the keyword there is some. Everything else moving along nicely, and alternate side of the street parking rules, they are in effect today. Over to you, Darlene.
All right, Lauren, thank you. News 4 has learned New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is expected to be interviewed by federal prosecutors today. The investigation into how he used campaign funds has been ongoing for months. Today in New York's Mark Santia is in Midtown with the mayor's decision to talk. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Darlene. It's face-to-face with the feds. The mayor expected this morning to walk into this law office and sit and talk with federal investigators today. This is a meeting the News 4 investigative unit first broke weeks ago, assigned the federal criminal investigation into questions of pay-to-play at City Hall is coming to a head. The U.S. attorney asked the mayor to come in and answer questions, and the mayor's agreed to do just that. And sources tell our investigative team the mayor plans on answering questions without the protection of immunity. Just weeks ago, the mayor answered questions from the media regarding his decision to meet with the feds. The mayor has repeatedly denied he or his team ever traded government favors for donations.
We are very, very careful about doing things in a legal and appropriate manner. We're very, very careful about disclosing the support we get.
And a spokesperson for the mayor's office as well as the U.S. attorney's office both declined comment. Darlene, back to you.
All right, Mark Santia with that story. Mark, thank you. And now we have breaking news out of Fairfield County. We told you about this a few minutes ago. An Amber Alert involving a 6-year-old girl. It all started just before 3 a.m. when police responded to a multiple stabbing in Bridgeport. NBC Connecticut's Leslie Mays is there. Leslie, good morning to you. What's the latest? What can you tell us?
Guys, good morning to you. What we know is that there is a 6-year-old girl missing. Her name is Aylin Sophia Hernandez, and I am live right now at the place where police believe this entire situation that led to her disappearance got started. I want to show you the situation here at Greenwood Street and Summit Street in Bridgeport. We are told that at about 2:45 this morning, a landlord called Bridgeport police and said there were multiple people stabbed inside of a residence here, and also that a little girl, this 6-year-old girl, was missing. Apparently, police believe taken by her father. The girl's name again, Aylin Sophia Hernandez. Police believe she may be with her father, Oscar Hernandez. He is possibly traveling in a silver or gray Hyundai Elantra with New York tags. Police believe this is a rented vehicle. Now, police have not said exactly how many people were stabbed, what their relationship is to the little girl or to Oscar Hernandez. But again, at this point, they are investigating multiple people stabbed here again at Greenwood Street and Summit Street in Bridgeport. And right now, a 6-year-old girl is missing. Again, her name, Aylin Sophia Hernandez. She is 6 years old. Police say that she is a white Hispanic female, brown eyes, black hair, 4 feet tall, and about 55 pounds. They didn't have any information about the clothes that she was wearing, but they say that she may be traveling right now with her father, Oscar Hernandez. Police still here on the scene investigating this situation. This is a very much active and developing situation. Of course, as we learn more, we'll continue to bring it to you. But for now, we're live this morning in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'm Leslie Mays. I'll send things back to you.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much for those details. Thanks, Leslie.
Darlene, 5:39 now, into video you'll see only here on News 4. A man running from police on the Bell Parkway stopped by a driver who took him down. He just happened to be passing by.
He was coming down, traveling westbound, approaching Ocean Parkway.
Well, that's how it all started. You hear police transmission there. Police say officers were trying to pull over 2 motorcycles when the driver of one of them tried making a run for it. Exclusive video from Chopper 4 shows him crossing the Bell Parkway on foot near Bay Ridge Avenue, but that's where the takedown took place. A Good Samaritan getting out of his SUV, tackling that person to the ground. Now, we did speak to another driver who watched all this happen.
It happened instantly. We was in traffic for like 3 minutes, and we didn't know what was going on. And then next thing you know, the guy just drops his motorcycle and starts running.
Charges are now pending against that 35-year-old suspect, and police are still looking for the other motorcyclist, the person who got away. Darlene.
Michael, thank you. A Bronx landlord accused of stabbing a tenant to death is behind bars this morning after a judge refused to grant him bail. Prosecutors say 51-year-old Taha Maran stabbed 44-year-old Zakir Khan more than 20 times in front of the victim's 12-year-old son Wednesday night. Khan had just returned home in Throggs Neck when police say Maran confronted him about unpaid rent. After the murder, prosecutors say Maran surrendered to police and confessed to the crime.
He stated to the officers there, "I just stabbed someone up the block. I told you many times about this, and you did nothing about it. I couldn't get help. I had to take matters into my own hands, so I stabbed him."
Police say they found a bloody kitchen knife in a sewer near the crime scene. Maran has another court date next week.
5:40 now, and happening today, President Trump's going to speak at the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, in Maryland. Mr. Trump's going to take that podium about 10 a.m. Today, the third day of CPAC. It is an annual meeting of political conservatives. Next week, of course, the president will give his speech to a joint session of Congress.
It's 5:41 on this Friday morning. Still ahead, a warning for drivers. Police in New Jersey say a man is pulling them over, but he is not a cop. We'll tell you how he's fooling people.
And we're going to have weather and traffic on the 4s coming up as we look there at the Hamilton Bridge. You're watching Today in New York.